everyone, and welcome to another episode of It's Time Wow Wisdom on Wednesdays, where we invite wisdom-filled individuals to share with us their knowledge and expertise. And our guest today is one of the best public speakers in the UK. She teaches people to present like a pro and sell like a superstar, and I'm very honored to call her my mentor, Coach Ghazala Jabeen.
Thank you so much, Ovi. And oh, it's a pleasure to be here with you all, and greetings to everybody, and hope you're all having a great day, whatever you're doing. So I'm just delighted to be asked, and it's a privilege to share with you a little bit of my journey, because it's not been easy. People see people's success and they think, oh, it's okay for them. But what they don't understand is it's never been that easy or okay. We've gone through a lot of challenges and come through a lot of obstacles to get to where we are today. So I just want to take you back a little bit of my junior self and my journey to where I am today. And that's going to be like a 30 years in a short snippet of my life for you guys. And I hope you enjoy and be inspired by my presentation for you. So my journey, really, I was born in Pakistan. I didn't speak a word of English. I remember as a child leaving, I was brought up by my grandma. I remember leaving an oil-lit lantern village and arriving into the UK in the lights everywhere. Lights were like, we have illumination lights in big parks, and we see them. So I've just come from a little oil-lit lantern to the UK, and there's lights everywhere. I was like a child, 6.5 years of age. Wow, that's quite good. Wow for the Wednesday anyway, right? But for me it was wow. Now, I didn't speak a single word of English till I was about 10 years of age, but I came when I was 6.5. So the first sentence I remember saying was, my friend was translating for me at school, my cousin, so she could speak English, she could speak my language, and she was teaching me how to say it. So I was very proud of my first sentence, which was, I want this. And to this day, I still live by that. When I want something, I go for it and get it. So I want this was a great sentence to start with, which helped me to learn and grow and want this, want that, want this education, want to learn how to, it just became a great part of my journey. So from there, I went into normal schooling. My father was a teacher background, so education was a big thing. The only thing is, in my culture, education for girls was, they didn't, the Muslim country, they did not want the girls to be out there seen. My brother said to me one day, he said, you don't need to study any further. You're going to get sent off, be married, and that's the end of you. And I said, what? I haven't been working hard in all my schooling to get to not do any more. I want to study more. I want to learn. Because one thing I realized, that the more knowledge I had, the more empowered I was. Yeah, I get it. I can say it. I can achieve it, because it was education and knowledge gave me that. Then people have heard the term knowledge is power, but I realized what was more powerful than that was applied knowledge is powerful. That was important. So I then said to my brother, you can't stop me. And he said, well, I said, you're not my dad. You can't stop me. And you know something? I fought for education. And when I talk about fighting for education, in society, we have education every day handed to us all the time. But in my culture, a girl like me was not allowed to go and be educated, because in case I knew too much and I spoke too much. My brother actually hit me, literally hit me in my face, because I stood up and I spoke and I said I wanted to study further. When people talk about the big hit in their life, people look at the big success hit or the big #1 hit of their music. My biggest hit was physical in my face, literally an attack by my brother because of that. But you know something? That didn't stop me, because the little pilot light inside of me said, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to be better than I am. And I just fought for that. And I said, I'm going to tell Dad of you for what you did. And he said, well, if you do that, you'll get another hit. And guess what? That didn't stop me. I told Dad. But even from there to a girl that came fighting for education, to be hit because she fought for education, today to be a global speaker around all the stages around the world is because I put the education into practice. I got better, I got better, I got better. And things that I didn't know, I was blessed with many great students and great mentors and great people that I joined life with on the journey to growth and personal development. Because when I got better with my education, I remember one of the world's well-known philosophers, a guy called Jim Rohn. And if you ever heard of this guy, if you haven't, go check him out. But his one sentence helped me to better my journey. And I'll paraphrase this. He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll earn a good living. But if you work hard on yourself, you'll earn a fortune. And I was like, if I want to do the best to get the fortune, I just got to work hard on myself. And that was the starting point of my career, my life, my journey, my everything I've done to be an international female speaker of the world, and also one of the 100 most successful women around the world, to be where I'm at today. For a girl that couldn't speak any English, the girl who fought and got hit, but it didn't stop me. So one of the things I realized within my journey from education and getting to university and studying, I realized also that getting into the world of work is a different thing, because now you're dealing with different people, different things. And for me, it was like, okay, so why is it in companies, same company, same product, some people are on the top list, some people are in the bottom list? Why is that? So I want to share with you my direct sales industry experience of how I shifted that energy. This will be powerful wisdom for people to learn from this. I applied for a job. It was a sales job with a company, direct sales. I didn't know anything about direct sales, but I knew that normal salary thing was very small, but direct sales, I could make good money if I'm good at sales, but I don't know. So I saw this advert, and it was, normal jobs were about 15,000 a year, a few years back, and 20,000, and a good one at 30,000 a year. This job said 75,000 plus OTE on target earnings. I was like, that's a good number. I like that. I like big things. So that I got excited. I contacted the company, and they're taking everybody on. They were just taking everybody that was happy to go and do selling. And I said to the company, hang on, stop right there. You're telling me that in this company, there are people earning £6,000 a month, right? And there are some people, you told me, that are earning 6,000 in a week. You're putting me with somebody who's earning £200 a week. I want to know that, are you as a company really helping people achieve this? Because otherwise you're misleading us. Show me the person who's making 6,000 a week. I want to speak to them. And I was very outspoken again. So they went, it's John, he's based in London. I said, I want to go out on the training with him. I want to know, does he really make this kind of money, or are you kidding me? If I'm staying in this job, I need to know this can be achieved. I went out with John, and John said to me, he said, do you want to present and I watch you, or do you want to watch me and you take notes? I said, so I was thinking, I don't know which one he's going to want me to, testing me. So I said, I'll do the presentation as a good student. I'm going to do it, and you take note and tell me what bits I've done wrong. He said, I was hoping you're going to say that and bring yourself up to the mark. Instead of the easy way, I'll sit and take notes. So off I did. And he was literally writing loads of notes. At the end of my first presentation, I was like, hey, John, you've taken loads of notes, which means I must be really bad. And he's like, actually, I took a lot of notes because you're actually quite good. I said, I am? I said, well, he said, let's go and have dinner and I'll give you the lowdown report on your performance. And he said, well, you know, the thing is, you were fussing about everything else instead of closing the deal. I said, was I? He said, yeah, you were fussing about tidying up stuff instead of focusing. The people were there at the deal and they were ready. They were wanting to buy, but you just were putting your paperwork away. And he said, you were not focused at the job. I said, oh, and he said, and the other thing that what you should have done is you should have asked the Mr. and the Mrs., but speak to them in a language that they both understand. I said, oh, did I not do that? He said, no, you didn't. I said, so really I was rubbish, right? So I was thinking, I'm going to be given a sack in here now. And he said, no, what I think is important, you need to know is you're actually good at what you did. You just were all over the place. You didn't have a structure and you didn't have a strategy. You're good at it, but you need to get your communication good. So when I realized that, so communication, I've been fighting to learn English. Now I'm trying to talk communication. I need to get good at this. So he taught me quite a few things. And then I started to get to understand that if we're talking to a Mr. or a Mrs. or this person and that person, and there's a few people, I have to understand how they are like in talking to them and how they are like, so that I'm making sure that they both understand me, not just Ghazala talking her own way. And then I started to get some good sales, and I started to improve on sales. And then I became really good with this company. And then it just went from bigger to bigger, and they appointed me as a regional manager. They said, she's cracking some good sales. I was like, yeah. I can do this 6,000 a week easy. Actually, I was putting in my bank over 13,000, right? So this was for me, like I just accelerated. And that's because I realized the art of communication, powerful presentation, but understanding the people. And that was great. And I worked with this company, did the whole sales. Then I was introduced to a company in network marketing, and direct sales was one thing, but that was about teams and how you communicate with getting the best out of a team. Because I've suddenly been put in management position, and I got to understand, how do I get the best from my team? So I was in a trip that was arranged, and I saw this lady speak on this stage, and she was talking about a tool that she used about get the power of communication, understanding the buying behavior and working with each other and understanding the logistics of the organization you're with. I sat like a great student. I was writing like crazy. I was like, oh, I got to know this because she's speaking the kind of thing I'm working with, but she's doing it better than me. But this was like, wow moment again for me in my life. Yes, if I work hard on myself, I'll earn a fortune. That's all I kept thinking. Work hard on myself, earn a fortune. She's teaching me. I got to listen. I got to be a good student. And that's what I did. And what she shared with us on this talk, this lady, was that she was a misfit in her life, and people just didn't get her. She didn't get on with them, and they didn't get on. And she thought, nope, I'm going to change this around, and I'm going to crack this business, and I'm going to build it. And she became a multimillionaire. And I was like, I got to listen to her, because they always say, if you want to get good and you want to get to be great, look at who is great and good out there. Hang around with those people, listen to their words of wisdom, listen to what is going on, and pick up the great stuff. Then your circle of influences your activity to get better. So I listened, I watched her, and she shared as a tool. She said, it's not about the selling, it's understanding the buying behavior of other people. And then I was like, of course, I'm that busy trying to sell. I'm not even figuring out what their personality is like on buying. And then I realized that's what John was saying to me, was that Mr. might be left brain, Mrs. might be right brain thinking person. So left brain is somebody who is detailed and thinking, and they're just thinking, analysis paralysis. You've heard of that term. That's them people, just detail. They don't get going. But the right brain is creative. Show them how and what, and they see the picture and visualize it. They like, yeah, I get it. And they go for it. So my communication and the power of presenting had to cover both. Whenever in a situation you got one person or two people, 5 people, or 100 people, the art of communication this lady was talking about, you can do one presentation that covers 100 people in one go. I was like, yes, that's the magic. She's got this. I need to pay for this. And then it was like, oh my goodness, how expensive is this going to be? And you know something I'm going to share with you, because this is part of our ongoing learning for life learning, growing, developing, and doing this. I didn't care how much it was, because I knew that a couple of good sales by this technique is going to cover my return of investment. But that's why we always say, and that part of it for me was, I said yes. And at that time, I paid quite a bit of money for that tool. I brought that tool home. I couldn't wait to open it and learn. When I then realized the personality of the people, And the first thing I did was I had to find out, how do I understand my children? As a mother, do I understand my children properly? So I thought, let's begin at home first. Are we even having a good relationship with the children in the home? So I said to the children, here's 4 different cards. And literally this is, when I go out on airplanes or when I'm out going into doing my work, I carry these little cards, right? This is different personality. This is the most powerful tool that sits in my wallet than any credit card anywhere at all, right? So I said to the children, tell me, on the back of these cards, there are words of values. These are different values. I just want to know, children, maybe as a mom, I don't even fully understand what your values are, what things really tick the box for you. What are you excited about? What matters to you? I just want to know where you're at. And my children then did these in the card order that they felt was their personality of their values. When I realized that, I didn't even know my children that well. And then I realized that actually, now I understand my children, I became a better mother, because now I understood the home ground of where I'm at. And then I got into my teams and I said, hey, team, I need you to all give me an idea of, if we're going to understand you better, I need to know, what are your values? I realized the kind of left brain, right brain personality, values, the way they work and how they operate. I then started to create a team. I'm going to share with you a few figures that I did. In my team, one thing I learned was this. I took on one division of a team, and the division had about 60 reps in that division. 60 reps were producing about 189,000 pounds in a month, right? The division people, the reps thought this was great. I said, do you know what? This is rubbish. This is actually really poor for what we as a team can do. We can do much more than that. But I said, here's the thing. At the end of 7 days, I'm going to have to let some of you go. And the reason for that is costing the company a lot of money for the data and the leads generation. Is cost them putting these leads together a lot of cost. And you're costing us because you're not working the appointments properly to work the presentation to create the sales. And that's costing the company money as well. So at the end of 7 days, half of you are going to have to go. And the company were like, what is she doing? They were worried now. What am I doing? And I actually I let go of half of the workforce. I now had 29 reps in this division. The 60 reps were doing 189,000 pound worth of business in a month. I now got 29 reps, half of the workforce, and about 8 weeks of showing them the techniques to the understanding how to pitch properly, present properly, give people the value of their investment, what they're going to get, justifiable, allowing people that they either need the product or the service or both. People have a want, a need, or both. And we have to marry the two together. And when I show them how to do it, in 8 weeks later, in the half of the workforce, we now reached a fantastic amount, which was just short of 500,000 worth of business delivered in a month with half the workforce. And that was the power of presentation, communication, and understanding how we pitch people, presentation, and do that. I became the company's first female executive sales director. For somebody who didn't speak a word of English, I got to the top of the game. They never had a female senior director in their history of the company. I took the division, I took it to the heights. My teamwork in network marketing, I've had hundreds of thousands of people spread throughout my time that I've trained. International stages, I've been able to teach, train, and be a consultant for companies corporately and individuals. To be featured, then also I became an author. And that was, although a sad story in my part of my life, a tragedy where I lost my husband to cancer, I had to be a mum, single mum with 3 children, and had to provide. One thing I knew was I have to provide them a better, good lifestyle, good education, good lifestyle, and commit to them. And I did. And from that part of it, I then wrote my first book, self-published book that went to #1 bestseller in less than 24 hours for somebody who didn't speak a word of English, and somebody who really went through quite a learning journey. So when I talk about present like a pro and sell like a superstar, I've been teaching this now for many years. And the reason people listen to what I'm saying is not just about the selling, It's about making sure that the power of communication is correct at the receiving end for the person that is going to receive you. You can have the very best thing in the world that you have to offer people, but if we don't present well, people don't get it. So this absolutely powerful tool, this code breaker that I've been using, has helped me close more deals in less time, because one thing I realized the power of it today, with the world of AI and online marketing and speaking to people in a faster pace than ever, globally, internationally, because we're dealing with different cultures, online and everything. Imagine that you have a tool this powerful that in nanoseconds, you can actually know the buying behavior of the potential prospect, client, customer that you're going to go to, and they don't even know you've not even knocked on their door yet. Imagine the power that you know about their personality, that your pitch is going to be tailored to their needs. That's why we're closing more deals in less time, because we have the understanding of the personality. Then we present accordingly, and people, when they get you, you get them, they get you, then you really do get going. And that's been part of my journey to create great success. And now I teach this throughout, and I teach them this powerful tool. And I hope that my talk with you today has shared some insights that it doesn't matter our background. If we're willing to be the great student, and they always say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When we are ready, the system is ready and it appears. You click and then we turn up. I joke about my surname, Jabeen, and you've heard the term Jabeen, genie in the bottle. I always say I'm Jabeen in the bottle, click me the right way and I appear. And I love to train people, to share with them, and and I'd love people to reach out and ask any questions that you may have. But it's just a journey that's been a wonderful growth, and the power of knowledge empowering you to produce enough presentations that you're closing more deals in less time.
Wow. Would you be able to at least share with us this tool? I have introduced this to some people and they've been interested in knowing what this is. We started, of course, with ourselves. We took the test, right? It gives us a lot of insights on how we are, how we behave towards others. I mean, do you have time to share with us this tool?
Yes,
so that
yeah.
Listeners can really learn from you?
Absolutely. Let me share with you how the system actually works and the power in nanoseconds to find out. So one of the areas where we do communicate is, on LinkedIn. But let me show you how quickly we can find out the benefit of this tool. So let's say I'm picking on you. I hope you don't mind me just to pick on you, but here is your profile. So imagine I don't know you, but I want to find out how to communicate with you properly. So I've got your profile, and this here is a code breaker AI extension that is used on Chrome. So you click that, within nanoseconds, it will show me the personality for you. There you go, nanoseconds. I click it and it tells me straight away that your profile here, the first thing is you care about the people. That tells me very much that a nurturing personality is you care about ethics, harmony, contribution, teamwork, all the stuff that we care about other people, and we want to serve them properly. That is servant-driven person and a leader that is making sure that everything is done good way. So that's the first thing I notice about your personality. The second thing I notice is that you're a person who likes to understand the systems. How do they work? The responsibility, the role, the structure, the stability, everything that you're doing properly because you want to make the effort to learn about the system. The third thing is that you are also a person that is fun, a person that has got a winning streak, somebody who wants to be in the lead as well, and somebody who's, loves spontaneity, things that we just do, we're excited, we do it, and that excitement, freedom, fun, image, everything that is done good, it tells me that about your personality. It also tells me that you're a person that likes to learn more about new things. You like to see the bigger picture, and that's how you work with it. So let's say that now I understand how you actually, your personality is. So we're going to look at how do I communicate with you. So when we go into Codebreaker, in this piece of the software that is the power to today's communication, it will tell me that you want to know more about Joey and her code, which we've used. So this means that the writing that she had written here is actually decoded. So when we decode that information, it tells me that quite clearly you are a person with values in your personality about relationships, personality, authenticity, you know, everything that's significant to teamwork. You're a very big team player. So if I'm going to communicate with you and pitch you on some of my products, there's a full training that is given with each one, how to work, to be understanding it. And I'm going to try and respond to you with that personality. So in here, we're going to say, hi, Joey. So let's say this is my style of communicating at this point. I'm not sure if it's good or not, because we know you're a nurturing person. And then I say to them, is this reply to this lady good or not? It will tell me no. Do you know why? Because the reply that I've written to her tells me I've done too much of the red personality. She was strong on the yellow. So this does not match her personality. You're not in the right communication of that straight away. So therefore, you have to be careful on how you communicate. So now I'm going to do it a different way. So just change this and say, I came across your profile on LinkedIn. So let's just forget this leadership stuff here for a minute and say, right, let me just try that now. So if I try that decode and say, can you try me? Is this one? Yes, great job. So you can see that in order to win you over and create that in no time at all, we make sure that this now, because you were a yellow personality, nurturing, caring person, I want to show that the work that we're doing is also supporting that within that. And within literally a few minutes of getting that typed up, it tells me that we can, that actually matches your personality. What we then do is we pick up that, copy it, and take that, control and copy, and we paste that in your private inbox or an email, that content, and that will actually allow you to pick up that, and then that's where you end up closing more deals in less time. So the system also allows you to learn. It actually teaches you how to script it, how to communicate verbally. So when people say my English is not very good, this helps you to improve your English, the communication, the wording, the scripting, the things not to do, the tripwires, the triggers, and things to avoid using, and enhancing your actual written skill set, communication vocally, and understanding the buying behavior of every person. Imagine that you're working for any organization, but you're dealing with creating sales and better closing ratio. This is one of the most powerful tools that allows you. And I'll give you an example. I had a client of mine with a CCTV camera. That this guy actually knew me, that I've done marketing, and he said, you are #1 marketing machine, so I need your help because my health had been really poor. My business declined its figures, and I'm nearly at bankruptcy stage. And that's where my figures are so low. But I've worked 20 odd years in my business, and I don't want to lose the business. I want to really pick it up, and I need help. So when I went down to see him, I said, tell me, who do you pitch? Where are the potential clients of yours? He said, a lot of them are on LinkedIn. I said, and what do you use on LinkedIn? He said, well, this is the script I use. I said, is that it? One script for everybody? But not everybody is the same, right? You can't use one same script for 100 people or even 4 people, because they're 4 different type of people. Seriously? He said, oh, is that a bad thing? I said, yes, it is. You can't use the same. It's like not one size fits all. We're all different people, unique in our identity, and we can't have the same pitch that is just chuck it, chuck it, chuck it, and hopefully something sticks. Quality over quantity was important. So I said to him, I'm going to get you to look at the system, because this is for anybody that is creating sales, creating generation of leads, and better communication to close more deals and less time, because time is precious for us. So I said, you've got a week to learn this system. I got him going to it. He started to create some fantastic scripts using the system, making notes, and he created 4 different styles of pitches in the personalities. And then he did the code breaker, clicked them, checked them, matched it with, and then he said, Within a week and a half after that he did it, he wrote his first 20 grand deal, £20,000 deal. And his investment was nothing to what he did. And now his business is surviving, thriving, and in the papers for award winning. And he said to me, thank you for that, because my company nearly went under and you've just helped me rocket my company back to the top. And now I'm in the lead doing what I do, and sales are coming in. That's the power of sales. That's the power of communication. And more importantly, the better we are equipped to say the right thing to the people in the marketplace, because we did our homework through this, and it helps us to educate us and be more empowered with that knowledge. Now we're cracking in more sales, and that's the success any team, any company wants, is the sales to go through the roof. And that's what I've been able to help people to achieve, even in such short time.
Yeah, that was really powerful. So if people want to know more about this, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so all you need to do is just connect up on our information I'm going to share with you. And then all you need to do is say, how do we get registered to do a test, first of all, even to find out their own personality. So we'll put the links for you. And then once you've got that, you crack your own code, and it's good for you to know your own personality so you understand yourself, what your values are. That is the first starting point. Work within ourselves. And you just reach out either to yourself or me, just reach out. We can connect you to this, do the test, enjoy learning about yourself, and find out today, in the very current day time, AI is the place. And just so you know, this system that we're talking about, one of the biggest clients of ours is Google. That should tell you a big deal enough, right? Biggest client, Google. The other thing that this tool has been used is with the United Nations. We also have Shell, which is teams of salespeople. We're now just talking to American Express, finance houses, people that are dealing with companies where they got teams or reps on the road, telecenters. I've worked with one of the largest telecenters in the world, predictive dialers, making calls, understanding, was teaching all the people in their telesales marketing how to communicate with people better. I got them 40% improving on sales that they got because they held into the appointments and not lost the calls from it. And the tools like this, Forbes have actually written about the code breaker is the future of sales. Imagine nanoseconds, you know the buying behavior of somebody who you're about to knock on their door and they don't know anything about you, but you know everything about them, of their personality. You can be really well equipped. That's the power of presenting like a pro, sell like a superstar, create the sales, and be back into the business that's prosperous and create. Remember, if you work hard on yourself, you'll earn a fortune. That's the time when you start creating a fortune. And that's what I wanted to share with you. My words of wisdom is effective communication, power to the elbow, power to the voice, understand your client base, and really you're rocking in good sales. And then you can say, now I'm creating the success that I've wanted to achieve. That's the power.
Hey, wow, that was a really great discussion. I'm sure all our viewers learned a lot from you today, especially the power of knowing the personality of each person so we can communicate with them effectively, which then create better relationships. And if you're in the business, of course, higher production. And it's very applicable to our profession because we are in the insurance industry, and it's not just to sell insurance products. This is a mission in that we create relationships with our clients and we journey with them until they reach their financial goals. So knowing their behavior or personality type is really, really useful. So thank you, Ms. Ghazala. You live in the UK. We have different time zones. Right now, I'm in the US, so it's okay. But then when I go back to the Philippines and I'm sharing this with my colleagues there in the Philippines, and they would want to be mentored by you as well, just like you're mentoring me, and they want to invite you as a speaker to their branches. How are we going to do that?
Absolutely. So here's what we do. I want everybody that is there ready to be either coached by me or learn about the system by me. They can connect with me and they can reach out and literally say, hey, we want to know more. And we want to bring you as a speaker to teach our sales teams and organizations. And, you know, one of the important things you mentioned there about the area of healthcare, the most biggest thing that people want to do is understand to care for them. You imagine if you understand the quality of about that potential client as well, understanding that you're going to give them best advice and they understand that you respect their values, That is the most powerful way when somebody feels that you've really valued them, they've been heard, and they want to connect with you, because that's when the real relationship is. And I've done public speaking on the power of relationship marketing. Understand the people, because everyone matters and everyone needs to be heard. And we need to make sure that we give the very best and sound advice in all aspects of it. And that's a win-win for everybody, for win-win for the client, win-win for the company, and the growth overall, and that peace of mind that people are looking for.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Ghazala. And I hope this is not the last time that you'll be guesting in our show, especially now that I have gotten you as my mentor. Like, communicate with you as often as I can, because I know that I'm going to learn from you a lot. So thank you guys once again. This is another episode of It's Time Wow Wisdom on Wednesdays, where we guest wisdom-filled individuals to share with us their knowledge and expertise. See you again next time.